Hi guys, this is a short video to get you how to sketch the shape of orbitals S, P and also D orbitals. And before this, please remember what is the L's value and what is its function. Okay, so L determines the shape. So if you have L equals to 0, it determines the shape of S orbitals. When L is equals to 1, the P orbitals. The L is equals to 2, the D orbitals. So begin with the s orbitals, very straightforward, only a spherical shape. As you know that when L equals to 0, the only value for M is 0. So there's only one shape for s orbital. So if let's say you have one s orbitals, there's only a small spherical shape in the middle of the axis. And comparing if you have 2s, 3s, and so on, the only difference is by the size. So let's look at 3s. The size of your spherical shape is slightly bigger than the 1s. And let's come to our p orbitals. So for p orbitals, when your L value is equals to 1, the possible value for m equals to -1, 0, and also +1. So each of these values represent one orbitals. Okay, so you have px, py, and also pz orbital. So say if we want the 2px orbital, so px, that means your dumbbell shape lies along the x-axis. Okay, so I'm shading the loop so that you can see the loops. Okay, the dumbbell shape is along the x-axis. And if you have 2py, py means the dumbbell shape is on top of your y-axis. Okay, the value of 2 depends on the questions, whether they ask for 3py, 2py, 4py, or whatever. And for 2pz, we have a dumbbell shape on top of the z-axis. So these are the three orbitals for p shape: px, py, and also pz. So come to the next one is our d orbitals. So when your L's value equals to 2, the possible value for M equals to -2, -1, 0, +1, and also +2. So all of these 5 values represent you have 5 orbitals. Okay, 5 degenerate orbitals. So doesn't matter which value represent which orbitals, it's free for you to choose. Okay, because all orbitals over here have the same energy. So let's look at the 3D Z square. So the 3D Z square means that you have a donut-shaped orbitals along your z-axis. So one loops and another loops is in the middle, look like a donut. Okay, so it doesn't matter if you got 4dz square, 5dz square, the dz square looks like a donut shape. So the next one, let's look at the dx square minus y square. The dx square minus y square, it means that you have a clover leaf shape along the x and also y axis. So the clover leaf along the x, okay, as well as the y axis. So for both of these, dz square and also dx square minus y square is along the axis. But another three d orbitals, the xy, yz, and also y, correcting myself, dxy, dxz, and also dyz orbitals means that you have the clover leaf in between the axes. All right, so let's say we look at the dxy first. So madam, draw the x-axis and the y-axis first. So the clover leaf is between the axes. All right, so you have the clover leaf between the x and also y axis. So where is the z axis go? So let's look at this. Another z axis, you can just draw it after you have sketched your dxy orbital. So this is our z axis. Okay. And you can also imagine that this is a piece of paper. Okay, so this line Okay, it's along the x-axis, and this line is parallel to our y-axis. And the loops, your clover leaf, is just sitting on top of this paper. Okay, the same parallel is that the loops and the paper are parallel. And then the z-axis cutting along the paper. Okay, it looks like a perpendicular to the piece of paper over here. All right, similarly, if you have the x, z axis, so let's draw the axis for our x and also the z. So the clover leaf will be in between the loops. Okay, will be in between the axes over here. And then we want to draw our y-axis, then it means like it cutting along over here from behind until the front parts over here. So this is our y. So if you imagine this is a piece of paper parallel to x, parallel to z. Okay, so on top of this paper, we have our clover leaf. Okay, it's sitting on top of this white paper. And then the y-axis cutting along the paper from behind. Okay, and then it cut along, and this is your y-axis. Just imagine a piece of paper and a pen or pencil cutting in the middle. And last one, we have our DYZ orbital. Okay, so draw the y-axis, draw the z-axis, and the clover leaf is in between the axes. Okay, so this is your clover leaf. And our x-axis, you need to draw it. Okay, so cutting from behind, from the center. So this is our x-axis. So sometimes you will see some of the notes that give you the axis drawing like this. Okay, perpendicular to all of it. Or you want to draw it something like this, it doesn't matter. As long as you have the x, y, z, the three axes over here. So for the D, Y, Z, it looks like a piece of paper as well, but different orientation. So this one is perpendicular to Y, this one is perpendicular to Z, and the loop is sitting on top of this white paper. Okay, sitting on top of this plan. And the x-axis cutting from behind towards the center, and this is your x. So another way for you to imagine how to draw the shapes of the d orbitals. So I hope this video can help you in drawing your d orbitals especially. And please practice also drawing the orbitals on the paper. So to get yourself familiarized how and what is the technique to sketch this diagram. So thank you.